Good evening. We are from group 63 of English 3, and we will talking about based on the 9/11 documentary. My name is Mariana Escobar.
Hi, my name is Junaidi Lopez. Next.
Hi, my name is Daniela Sicachenao.
Hello, my name is Gira Marcela Castro.
Hello, good evening. My name is Milton Ortiz. Mariana, you can continue, please.
Okay, I'm gonna read the questions, and if you know the answer, just answer. The first one is, could the U.S. Air Force have prevented the attacks?
My name is Junaidi. Yes, but they did nothing since today's attack were caused by the US government and only carried this terrorist attack to justify the war of Afghanistan and Iraq. The US and its terrorists only ignored the attacks.
Okay, I have an answer for that question. I think firstly, there were only 4 aircraft, according to the video, covering that zone. Then they could not defend the honor of the United States. The video showed us that there were some training programs out of the city with aircraft, and it wasn't common in that days. That was the reason why Air Force didn't have a good reaction in facing some distraction and alarms of possible aircraft flying in the prohibited areas. Indeed, that looked like something scheduled in order to let the enemy enter to the city. I don't know what do you think about that group.
Okay, I said for this question that the Air Force have or can prevent the attacks. Maybe in the moment of the situation where the airplane out of this route or the specific route that have the airplane, the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, maybe can contact the airplane, so try to talk and what happened when you outside your route, and why you don't with the normally rules, and if don't have answers, can take um I forget the name. The decision for ah, I forget what is I know. Sorry.
Okay, I agree with you. Because to begin, the US Air Force have like the capability of locating and intercepting planes, but they failure. Like they say the hijackers turn off the board transporters and that it was impossible to identify the airplanes, but it's not true. According with the video, they could see where they were. So it is not like that. Besides, they said that they need like order from the president to shoot the airplanes and they didn't get it because Bush just like made the call after the Pentagon was hit. So indeed, it wasn't gonna work. Okay, anyone else? Okay, the second one is, were the Twin Towers deliberately demolished by explosives?
It said that the Twin Towers with high-speed missiles in the central area of the tower, but defenders against the accusation is impossible. And based on this, some factors are mentioned. The lead, this fact being determined. The remodeling of elevators, which could have allowed the access and placement of the missiles inside the central area of the building. The buildings, according to witness, sounds of heavy equipment were here inside the building on the 34th floor, where entry was not allowed. They removed the bonds and a war was safe without use cause, and finally the security systems affected. The entry of people to restrict areas without being seen. Really.
Okay, I have a, a point of view of this question, the second one. According to the videos, there were a lot of clues and videos about that topic that led us to believe that in that attack not only were used planes, but explosives. Indeed, that were works in different parts of the building, especially in the elevator zone, where are located the main structure of the building. On the other hand, they have taken out um, dogs, that kind of dog that sniff. Um, they can they can show where is the bomb, but in this case, they were removed from that zone some days ago. In other analysis, showed in the videos when the building fall apart, it goes so quickly, almost like a free fall. And in other videos, some people heard explosive sounds before and while the building collapsed. It demonstrates a big possibility or a proof that the building were destroyed with hell of explosive as a conspiration plan, something like that, I think.
Okay, I agree with you guys. In a moment of the video, people talk about the working in the towers, twin towers, and the guy say that administrator that day, 1 day or 2 days before, the other people move a heavy machine to the floor, to the floor that is not occupied. As really stranger, their hair and feel really strong, knows that the building moved. So the people ask what happened here. After 1 or 2 days before the attack to the Twin Tower. Uh, Also, the how say Michael, some survivors listening and paying attention to the explosion after, during, and before that the Twin Towers collapse. And the videos of the BBC and NCN registered explosion before the collapse of Building 7 in the World Trade Center 2. And it's really stranger the consequence of the attacks with the Twin Towers, and explaining that why the towers is fall down. And really, it's a difficult to believe the explication.
Yes, according with that, like they pay the National Institute of Standards and Technology to determine why and how the above towers collapse. But like in the report, they say that they focus the investigation on the sequence of the event from the instant of the aircraft like impact the towers, right? Um, like they just reported like a probably collapse sequence, but as my classmate says, they were, how to say that? Um, oh, I forgot. Like these explosives in different times before it falls down. And as Milton says, the only way it can only happen it was if the structure had been removed like vertically, because they made like a free fall and it only takes them like 10 or 9 seconds to do it. So it is like really confusing because an aircraft plane couldn't be done that. Also, during this free fall, there were a lot of concrete like falling apart from the building, and also like the hundred of windows like exploding like themselves.
Okay.
Okay, Junaidi, do you want to speak? Do you have to tell something?
See, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. They were demolished with explosions. There is evidence and testimonies for people would kilomet the airborne and explosive as the wheat turf fault. The area to after that the twin towers we are remained to receive the impact of airplane and steel stand and the factors show it that the foot of the plane train extended from some floor of the tower did not generate in down temperatures to meet the seat of the tower. It was controlled demolition that in with the death of main people.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
continue.
Um, the next question is, where the question? Were some people forewarned about the attacks? What do you think?
Okay, good evening again. I can start with this answer for this question. In this case, the video explains that many of the intelligence community knew the attack underway. There was so much discussion about that attack. Everybody was talking about it. Indeed, John Kennedy, I think is he. He had meetings about that concern with other people in the White House, and another analysts had meeting at the White House too. On the other hand, there was a Republican congressman who talks about different documents, who document that have information about that attack. And the intention of the intelligence agency was to hold that information in secret. There was much information about the possibility of attack in the United States, but there were a lot of people behind that information trying to keep it in secret. Then the main officers, the main people, I don't know how do you say that, the very important people in the military force, I think, were in different apparent circumstances that not let them to be in front or to face that problem that day. That was very confused because there wasn't anyone to face that kind of condition in that day. What do you think?
Um, okay, not prove that we did not report to the people. What well, who were the protagonists of attack? Although the areas those would come about the attack, but the people would were in the place of this attack did not come and eat, and this attack caused the death of many people.
Okay, like it is showing the video, like pre-attack warnings were like taken to the United States, but they were really ignored. It is evident that someone knew because everyone was talking about it. And they say that before that, exactly 3 days before that the Pentagon was hit, the Australian government warned Washington that a Japan aircraft was sending to Hawaii, so they really knew it. After that, in August, FBI agents discovered information like that could help them to find the answer and could prevent them, but they just like ignore all of that due to a lack of communication between various law enforcement and intelligence personnel.
Anyone else is going to speak?
Anyone else?
Next.
Okay, so the next question is, was the Pentagon really hit by an airplane? I'm gonna answer this one because as we know, the plane that is said that crashed into the Pentagon, that the Pentagon is like the Defense Department of the United States, was the Flight 77, which was the third hijacked plane. And they say that this plane crashed at 9:37 exactly on the western facade. This crash generated damage and then a fire. But according with the analysis presented in the video, it is believed that the Pentagon was probably hit by a missile and not by a plane, because according with the two videos, they were like synchronized, and the security cameras, there wasn't a plane. They say like such a magnitude crash couldn't be like made by an aircraft. The damage and the fire uh, could be most perceived by an explosion, something like that.
Okay, good evening again. My name is Milton. I'm going to explain about this question. I completely agree with Mariana Escobar about there is not enough information to indicate that it was a plane attack. I think there were many controversial points of view in the videos where researchers could find discrepancies like projection of aircraft wingspans, empennage and engine in the attack zone. They don't fit according to the picture, according to the investigations. The videos done in the videos in the cameras, as Mariana told us, don't appear, and one of them has a modification on it. It's not accuracy. It's not accuracy. The cameras don't let us to understand what happened in that moment, in that place. Is more like explosive because the information or the research found that there are a lot of discrepancies on it in that information. It's not true, I think. Any, what do you think, all of you?
Okay, me, Diana Marcela Castro. I agree with you guys. This is really stranger thing, because, for example, with the Twin Tower, we can watch some videos that the moment of the attack on the tower is collapsed. But when is the moment told about the Pentagon, you don't found any video, any picture, or any evidence, really evidence that say the airplane really crashed to the building. The Pentagon is an important building of United States, of the Defense, Secretary of Defense and Military Command, and only two cameras almost take the moment of the airplane is crashed to the building, but really you can see what happened, only with the explosion and the smoke, some fire, but not a specific moment where the accident is during. Also, after the accident, after the airplane is crashed to the building, only some picture and some videos with the bomber firemen is the out of the fire with water, and you can see some pieces of the airplane, but some pieces, but not the airplane destroyed, and missing part of the plane, such a turbines is a element of the airplane and is on the structure. Why don't find the turbine of the airplane? So what happened? And the second, that I consider that according of the version, according of the video, that Dave Botigla, Air Traffic Control New York Center, and the captain Giancarlo Tedeschi are Blue Panorama, that they are explaining us the way of the which the plane crashed indicate of the plane was flying low and high speed. That this is the way difficult to control and mostly for someone without experience. In the video, told about too that the hijackers are students pilots but no have experience to fly a airplane, a commercial airplane. So this is many things that have to consider in this height to Pentagon.
It say the Pentagon was attacked mainly by an American Airlines plane for United States, flight 77. It say that the plane disappeared from the radar screens, but I was never really evidenced what happened at this time. Uh, some say they are conspiracies, and others say that an airplane could not have caused the accident.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyone else?
no.
So the next question is, could the attacks have been prevented?
Okay, I can start with this question. The attack has been prevented. Okay, I think there was something that doesn't let an intentional stop it. Someone didn't let to report all the information about the attack. There were a high-level decision in the CIA ordering to different people not sharing that information about that attack. If the information has been shown in different mediums, I think the attack would have been prevented. But in this case, there had been many influences behind the matter. I think it would be impossible to stop the attack because there there were many influences behind that conspiration.
Okay. Uh, yeah, because the attack will provide by the United States government to hinder our against of Astamengay, and that is the way they could have pretend to the death of 9 people victims of the attack.
Okay, I'm Diana Marcela. I think that could have been prevented. Maybe no with the don't happen it if okay, the idea is the airplanes no don't crash with the building, with the tower of the Pentagon. If the maybe can intercept following the protocol with the security of what happened, consider that the airplane out of his route and don't have communicated. So it's something, oh my goodness. Something okay, irregular is something irregular, is a situation, irregular situation maybe has more control on the take or follow the protocol and call the Pentagon something happened with the airplane, don't have communicated, maybe can send the jets and go analyze the situation, what happened with the airplane, what happened with the passengers, so what happened really, what is this real situation, and can the maybe the result can say different. Um, Maybe had the airplane uh, finishing the other place and not crash with the building, but have many hands, power hands in this situation, in this attack that finally have many people dead, and really sad history.
Okay, yeah. As you have said, like, we have talked about it, they have been warning about the possible terrorist attacks. Um, like, they were said that someone were going to use airplanes as weapons. Um, like, I think that they could be prevented because the United States had like enough intelligence to prevent them, but they didn't want it to do it. Like they wanted to happen so that they had an excuse to justify war. Because like they said in the video, the president like used the indignation of the, I don't really remember, like 3,000 victims of 9/11 to kublash a war that had been already prepared, but like people didn't really know about it. So it was like, we haven't talked about it, but the Seven World Trade Center, they also like were demolished, and they say it was a control one because they were advised at the fire department. And if you have seen in the video, it's like they're presenting like a woman is talking and she said like, yeah, it has been demolished, but it had like, it didn't happen yet. So they say the fire workers that they just walked back because they knew the building was going to blow it up. So I think it's just like a conspiracy, like they said. Okay, anyone else, or we can continue?
Continue.
The next question is, was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed?
Osama bin was the biggest terrorist against the United States, was the cause of the tragedy of September 11. And according to external sources, this jihadist was killed by special force and his body was thrown into the sea.
I didn't really find an answer on the video, but I read on internet that the conspiracy theories and rumors says that Bin Laden have been like that for many years, and it was just like an excuse. And there are no photos or videos that can confirm that he's like really dead, because as my classmate said, he was buried at the sea. Um, like not even the military could see him, so it's like a mysterious thing.
In the video, only a little moment talk about Osama bin Laden of really Al Qaeda. That the Time magazine report that the CAI have a plan to attack Al Qaeda in Afghanistan with a heavy support of the Northern Alliance. But after that, no happened nothing. That it is the report is before 1 day before that the Twin Towers on the attacks, the September 10th. But after that, all the videos don't talk about Osama bin Laden. What happened? I don't know really what happened with this guy.
Okay, in my case, I didn't find any information about Osama bin Laden in the video, but when I look up information, some web page told me that that by the American government. I don't know if that information is true, but I suppose yes.
Okay. Osama bin Laden didn't having participated in the attack, but did during a military action, and his death was caused by U.S. soldiers.
Okay, the last question is, was 9/11 caused by the American government on purpose? What do you think?
Okay, I can start with this question if you want. I think according to the videos, there were a lot of information that showed us a different point of view based in investigation of the 9/11, where they found discrepancies in the government's point of view that led me in this case to understand that there were a lot of things that were hidden by the government about that history or about that attack. It could have been caused by the governing purpose. I think the leader of this attack was the government. The government led to enemy attack his city in this case. They create a fiction history around the real one. I suppose the government, I don't know what the government want, but I suppose all of this has a proposal for the government, but I don't know what in this case what will be that proposal. What do you think about that group?
Okay, I think that the video showed us different or some details that we can say, we can think that is possible that the 9/11 is a purpose. I think that is told about of the airplane and the black boxes of the airplanes, that it's impossible to believe that something indestructible as to the black boxes, they didn't then don't no found it. But when they're search the black boxes and the other things, They can find the delicate thing as watches, documents, bills, and coins, but any small part of the black box. So for me, it's unbelievable. Also, uh, uh, oh my goodness. Okay, a man told about in the video, Adam Shaw is a acrobatic pilot of flight instructor, said that were difficult that the student pilot of a small airplane can fly a commercial plane. That is hard. This is the question with the hijackers, that they are student pilots of a small airplane, but not a big airplane like a commercial plane. This is other details here. Uh, mm, Another thing is with the Pentagon, when it's hit, the attack was intended to uh, 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 a place of the Pentagon, but it's not really important because the important areas like the National Military Command and Secretary of Defense and the other areas that are important. Defense function has a ubicated in other place of the Pentagon of different where is the attack. So the attack in the Pentagon really okay, it's not important. It's only happened something here, similar to the tower, but not really affect or not really uh, a big damage to this area. The end. Any more want to talk about, guys?
Okay, it's Mariana who's talking. I think that there are many theories about this event, like that marked the lives of many people, because there were like many deaf people there. Um, Indeed, I think like it was the perfect excuse to feel the economic interest of the United States. It was to justify the invasion of the Afghanistan and Iraq people, even though they knew after that Iraq was not involved in the attacks, but they have interest as always and as nowadays, um, such as plans to construct a natural gas pipeline through Afghanistan. So I think this is more than like we can see or imagine. And this is like a political thing. There are enough evidence to say like it was a conspiracy of the US government. Okay, guys, anyone else have something to say?
Almost.
Okay, I suppose we have finished the forum for today. Thank you for each opinion that you apport for today. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you so much.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.